BookTube, this is Kelly. Thank you so much for watching my channel, Books I'm Not Reading. I am here today to do a tag. This is a little literary tag, which was created by Mark at Book Time with Elvis. And he's a new booktuber, and I really encourage you to check out his channel. I will link to his original tag down below. I was tremendously honored. I was one of 3 people tagged, including Steve Donahue and Mark Nash, who are 2 of my favorite booktubers. So I was really, really excited about that. So let's get into the questions. Question number 1. Tolkien once said that the cellar door is the most beautiful expression in English. It seems very strange to me. That doesn't sound like Tolkien at all. But okay, whatever. What do you think is the most beautiful word or phrase in English or in any language? And I actually really love the word and its variations of transform, transformative, transformation. That is kind of, yes, that's a really important word in my life. Question number 2. What words in English do you find most amusing? I couldn't think of an English word, but one of my favorite words to say, and it's French, it's boucle d'oreille, and that's for earrings. So I love that word. And it feels like 3 words for earrings, but boucle d'oreille, just say it, like it just rolls off your tongue. It's great. Question number 3. Have you memorized any poems in full to whip out now and then to impress your friends? If so, which ones? So I don't know how well you can see it. Up here is The Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I did at one point in my life have that poem memorized. I think it started out as a school thing, and then I just had it memorized for a while. In the course of this channel, I did try to memorize Sylvia Plath's poem "Daddy," and the poem is 3 pages long for starters, quite shorter than this one, and definitely darker. But yeah, so I tried to do that as part of kind of an ongoing series called Poetry for Beginners. At the time, I was reading poetry with Brian from Bookish, and yeah, so that's the poem that I tried to memorize. I ended up just reading it on my channel, but anyway, so I don't currently have any poems memorized up in here, but I do think memorizing things is really good for your brain. Let's see here. Okay. Question 4. Who or what do you consider to be an underrated and underappreciated author or book? And some of these questions, like, I feel like I talk about the same book all the time. Kitty just wandered in. Hi, Kitty. So, let's see. Oh, God, Blue, you're really gonna screw things up for me, aren't you? Honey, it's okay. Why are you crying? Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I always talk about the Pulitzer Prize winning novel Now in November, which I think Kim at Middle of the Book March is going to be reading soon, or is reading. So I just feel like I've talked about that one a lot, but that's always the one that comes to mind the most, is that it's a fantastic book. It's a pretty obscure book, but it's quite a gem. Question 5. Which book do you consider to have the best or most memorable beginning? And again, I mean, those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time will know that I will always go to The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. I challenge anyone to pick this book up in a bookstore and begin reading the first chapter. And I mean, if that's not brilliant writing, like, I just don't know. I don't know what it is. So I love this book. Yes, it should be like just required reading. And it has, the beginning of that book is just absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Question 6. Which book title best describes your life? Okay, so I actually have been asked this question before in a tag, and that time I said Philip Roth's I Married a Communist, partially in jest. And I also thought about Ray Robinson's excellent book, Electricity, which is about a young woman with epilepsy. I do have epilepsy, but her story is quite different from mine. I also thought of, and I'm talking about books with wonderful, memorable beginnings, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, mainly. I'm not saying Jason's Mr. Darcy. Certainly, when I met him, he was spending every paycheck on books. So, but yeah, like, I mean, it was just a long. He pursued me for a very long time, and yeah, so he was persistence instead of Pride or Prejudice. And then, you know, I just grabbed these books off the shelf, and I'm not saying that these are necessarily like my life story, but like Plain Song by Kent Harif. This is such a great book. And this is another one I know I've talked about multiple times, The Meadow by James Galvin. And this, yeah, and then there's also Willa Cather's masterpiece, O Pioneers. And these 3 books, like, it just is, you know, I feel very connected to the landscape and the geography of where I live. And so, I mean, those aren't really my life story, but just describe something that's played a big role in my life, is landscape. So, yeah, and I'm sorry, Mark, that's probably not a very good answer to your question, but those are some books that definitely have my spirit is connected with those last 3. All right, let's see. Question 7. What is the last book you read that led to a moistening of the eyes? So I apologize. I didn't look in my book journal, so I don't know what the last book was that made me cry. But this is a book, and I don't think I've talked about this on my channel before. Although, again, those of you who've watched for a while know I have a horse admiration for horses. So Susan Richards' Chosen by a Horse. When I finished this book, I wept and wept. I cried my heart out. So that was way more than a moistening of the eyes, and it's very rare for a book to make me cry. It does happen though, and that one is a great example. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was just a really powerful ending. So. Question 8. When it is time to shuffle off this mortal coil and go to the big library in the sky, what bookish or literary quote would you like engraved on your headstone? And you know what the truth is? There's not going to be a headstone. I used to work for hospice, for those of you, again, who may not know that. After that job, I realized how important it was to have a will and have advanced directives, and so I really took that upon myself to make sure that Jason and I had done our best. At least there's still some things that need to be changed or modified a little bit, but I didn't want either one of us to be in a position of not knowing what we would like to happen at the end of our life, kind of thing. And so I am going to be cremated, and there's this very, very special place to me in Wyoming that I hope I hope my ashes will be able to be spread there, and my ashes can just return to the earth. I don't know if that will be possible or not, but anyway, so there won't be a headstone, no place to put flowers. I hope people would just buy flowers and enjoy them for their own beauty and appreciate them and that kind of thing. So yeah, so no headstone. I don't want to be in like a giant vase forever either. So yeah, no. Okay. Let's see. Question 9. If you wrote a book and didn't want to use your own name, what name would you choose as a suitable pen name? So this took me forever. This was actually a really hard question. And I was like saying all these names out loud to Jason, testing them out. And so my first name would be Noelle, and it would be Noelle. Because I lived in France for a summer. It was such a great life experience. And I do love France, and it just holds a really, really dear place in my heart. And I also really love Christmas too. So Christmas is very, very important to me. And my last name would be Bartlett. And I will see if any of you in the comment section can make the connection to why I might have chosen that name. Question 10. Many literary characters have sidekicks or henchmen. Who would you choose to be your companion on your life's adventure? And I've already made that choice. That choice is my husband, Jason, from Old Blues Chapter and Verse. When I was growing up, my mother told me to marry my best friend, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm so fortunate, so glad that Jason is my sidekick in life, and we do have lots of fun adventures together. And maybe they might not seem like very exciting adventures to some people, but yeah, we're a good team. So, all right, okay. So I have a lot of people to tag for this because Mark only tagged 3 people. So we got to get this out. And Brian already revealed today in his Saturday Hodgepodge that he's going to be doing this tag along with Mark's other original tag on Tuesday. So I'm going to just go to town here. So first of all, I want to tag Lukash at A Cruel Reader's Thesis, Yere from Drawn to Stories, Gina Stanier, Karen Evans, Roz at Scallydandling about the books, Kayla Lendon. Kayla, I hope you're watching. I hope you catch this. Marilyn Maya Mendoza, and Marilyn is almost to 500 subscribers, which is pretty landmark. So if you haven't watched her channel, you might give that a go. And then finally, Zena at Beating About the Books. So I will link to all of those fantastic channels down below. And again, Mark, thank you so much for tagging me in this video. BookTube, remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.